Scientists reveal a simple free hack to make your life feel more meaningful. If you're keen to live a more meaningful existence, consider framing your life as a hero's journey, says a team of scientists who conducted 8 studies that point to a profound connection between the lives we live and the stories we tell. The hero's journey structure has been used by storytellers for hundreds of years to describe the narrative of an ordinary character on a wild adventure where they overcome obstacles before returning home a changed person, or lion, fish, etc. But it's not only Simba from The Lion King or Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz who can live out stories like this, involving a total of 2,678 participant responses across their studies. The researchers from the US and Canada used their initial findings to develop a restoring intervention that appears to help people enrich their sense of meaning. It might seem difficult for people to imagine themselves as mythical heroes, but our results suggest that it's not required. Behavioral scientist Benjamin Rogers from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and his colleagues write in a published paper on the studies. The lives of everyday people can and do have the elements of a hero's journey, and most any life can be restored as such. Mythologist Joseph Campbell first outlined a hero's journey in 1949, drawing attention to a common narrative structure behind some of the most enduring stories throughout history. The team wanted to see if it could be a blueprint for crafting an interesting account of one's own life, and if this might impact how meaningful we perceive our personal journeys. They condensed Campbell's somewhat dated classic 17 steps into 7 elements that translate to modern life: the lead protagonist, a shift of circumstances, a quest, a challenge, allies, a personal transformation, and a resulting legacy. And next, they created and tested a 21-item hero's journey scale, SJS for short, to measure how closely the hero's journey matched people's life stories, focusing on the continuity of individuals' life narratives. For example, to gauge someone's openness to change for the shift element, the HJS would ask them to rate how often they encounter a novelty instead of asking bluntly whether they have ever experienced a significant shift in their circumstances. The authors gathered over 1,200 individual narratives from a variety of sources, including online and in-person interviews. Their analysis found that those whose life stories contain more than their 7 hero's journey elements also reported higher levels of meaning, higher levels of flourishing, feeling like they were a good person living a good life, and lower levels of depression. People who use the hero's journey to tell their story appear better equipped to frame the ambiguity of life as meaningful to them, the researchers write. These heroic individuals reported more novel experiences, ambitious goals, supportive friends, and so on than the other participants. And based on these results, the authors devised a restoring intervention with prompts to encourage further sets of participants to see their lives through the lens of a hero's quest. Prompts were organized so the 7 elements built on one another as people told their life stories. These participants were asked questions like, what change of setting or novel experience prompted your journey to become who you are today? And given sentences starters like, my journey to who I am today began as a result of, to help them reflect on how their lives exhibited evidence of shift. Rogers and his team discovered the intervention aided participants in conceptualizing their lives as a hero's journey, which in turn increased how meaningful they reported finding their lives. Restoring intervention participants appeared to be more resilient to life's challenges, writes the team, both in terms of how they view their problems and the tactics they employ to address them. The hero's journey restoring intervention has a potential to increase both positive and negative behaviors. The authors wrote, it might lead to more optimistic outlooks, healthy coping mechanisms, and altruistic actions. Also, it could make people more likely to act narcissistically or devote themselves to misguided causes. They suggest further studies should explore how seeing oneself as a hero on a journey might affect behavior in more detail, and all studies were conducted in the US, where the narrative is popular, so the outcome could vary elsewhere. Examining how the dynamics of different stories correspond to personal narratives is a rich area for further study, further research, the authors write. We hope that our restoring intervention provides a template for future researchers to use in exploring the role of different narratives in people's lives. The research was published in Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. And this is on Science Alert by Rebecca Dyer. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.